Guys, I've been looking forward to having Alexa Fisher from Wishbeads on for a while, so I'm so happy she's about to pop up. That was like magic.
Hello.
Good morning. Will you share with our community a little bit about you and what you're about?
Absolutely. I would be happy to. I've had a very interesting journey, I would say, professionally. I started off my career actually as an actress. And as I was working, I also had that realization that perhaps I was destined for more, only because I felt like I was wasting a lot of time on set, like energetically. You know that feeling where you're like, am I doing the right thing with my life? Is this my calling? Is this what I'm meant to be doing? And for me, that calling happened, that moment happened on the set of the TV show Bones, when I had fake blood coming out of my mouth and I realized, oh my gosh, what have I done with my life? Interestingly enough, a friend called me up out of the blue and wanted to know if I'd be interested in doing some media training for a client of hers. It actually opened the door to the second chapter of my career, which is as a teacher, a coach, a speaker. I give people skills to really shine and be comfortable in their own skin, to have the confidence to communicate who they are, how they show up in the world. That one gig turned into the creation of about a dozen online courses, teaching professional coaching. And now I have about over 100,000 students around the world who take my courses. It's something weird about listening to, like, following your heart and then doing the work that it takes, and then not quitting, slowly trusting that you just keep showing up and doing your thing and being of service to others, and that the universe ultimately, when you don't quit, it just supports you. Lastly, I had an idea years ago in the shower. I heard the name Wishbeads. I saw a physical product. I had no intention of making a physical product. And it was this idea of, what if you took the experience of inviting people to really connect with their inner light, have a little visual reminder. You tuck your little wish inside your Wishbeads bracelet or your Wishbeads necklace, and then do a little bit of steps, guide people, almost teach them little things that you can do to keep taking positive steps
Right.
towards your wish.
I wanted to really discuss or start talking about wishes, or with the word wish or wishing or wish work or wish beads
Yep.
in general. And before I ask you a couple of questions, I was so happy, I actually wrote it down. I was so happy to join your virtual wish circle with, his name's Justin Michael.
Justin Michael Williams.
There was something that I got really out of it. So here's what I got about something about the process. So first comes your vision, right? So if we have a vision, we get outside of ourself, our circumstances, right? And then a dream and a vision, that we have a dream and a vision that's bigger than what we have, and create a desire and motivation. Have desire, motivation, and then you get your vision. And then from your vision comes your intention. Once your intention is set, your wish comes in, and now we can rely on our faith that you're required to believe in something you can't see. Is that sort of, I know I just sort of like read it and chopped it up, but is that sort of kind of the process of, in a nutshell, kind of a wish?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think, let me back up a little bit and I'll
Yeah.
talk about sort of the structure of the way that I invite people to wish, and why it's almost like a reinvention of the wish. Because the way that we've typically thought about it is where, it's the stuff that kids do. And they look at a candle and they think, I'm going to make a wish, you blow it out, and then you never think about it again.
Right.
And so if I asked an adult, if they didn't know anything about wish beads, do you really believe that your wishes are going to come true in that ritual? I don't think there'd be a single adult that would say, yes, there's magic when I blow out my candles or I toss a penny in a fountain. So we've somehow, in this maturity, have abandoned this idea of wishing and the power that it really has. So with wish beads, my goal was to reinvent the wish and invite people to taste the magic again for themselves. So it begins actually with visioning and being guided through that visualization, where you're seeing a moment in time in your mind, in your heart, where you're already living your wish. It's done. And sometimes we have conscious wishes, but Sometimes our wishes are when we're being guided through this visualization. I have an app, a free app called Wishbeads, where the first is a guided visualization, or you're joining my monthly wish circles. They're free. They happen on Zoom, and I typically have a guest that comes with me, that joins me, and I guide you through the visualization in that moment. What is going to feel so deeply satisfying that it's like, oh my God, my wish came true. This idea of seeing what you're doing actually is you're putting a pin in the map of where you want to go. In our consumer society, we're being led to believe that we are going to feel fulfilled by stuff. I'm totally aware that I'm selling products, so don't get me wrong. But this false notion that when we get something, it's the getting of the thing that's going to fill us up. There was one woman who shared that she saw herself like deep sea scuba diving, I think, with whales.
Yes. Yes.
Right? Okay. So now this is a pretty like specific, tangible thing. And that's what I love about wishing. It's so personal. What I like about the clarity of that visualization is that then she has insight, specific insight, and then she can use that insight to bring a very specific element. Like I think I told her to listen to the soundtrack of Whales, or put an image of Whales as her screensaver on her desk. Now, by having a visual reminder like Wishbeads or the whale sounds, you're activating that part of yourself that is connecting emotionally to what you saw, bringing a piece of it to you right now. And that's part of the dance and the joy and the experience of the journey of making your wishes come true.
Would you give me your definition of a wish?
The first thing that always pops into my mind is the whisper of your soul. I think that there's a delicious specificity to what your soul is longing for. Like imagine that the universe, or whatever you want to call it, is a waiter or waitress with pen and paper poised to be like, what do you want? And even though someone may think, well, like, what's the best thing that I could order? How about a filet mignon? Well, to me, I'm a vegetarian. Exactly. That would be gross.
Right.
So when we think about what's going to make me happy, fulfilled, a wish come true, there is specificity. That's how it should feel with your wish. That when you are living it, it just makes you feel so good, and it may surprise you. And you watch other people say, oh my God, like even though it's a pandemic, I'm building this, or I'm doing this, and this is happening, and you just think, oh, I don't know if I'm ready. I might get cold, the waves might be too big. And then there has to be some moment where you just say, I'm going to go play. I'm just going to dive in and see what happens and see how I feel, or I'm going to whatever. And then you're there and you're like, are you kidding me? And my girlfriend, I have a girlfriend because a lot of my friends have all been following Wishbeads forever. And the other day she was standing in someplace for work, and her wish had literally full on, like 150% came true. And she said to me that day, she called me and she said, Lex, it is time for me to wish again. Because if I had known like 18 months ago how easy it would be to make this happen, then what the heck next could I wish for? So this is this idea that you have to see what your resistance is, and somehow with encouragement, dive in and see. And it's not that I'm saying it's going to happen in 21 days. It's just that swimming is so much fun. Once you
I think that first 21 days though, also, I didn't mean to interrupt, and thank you so much. I think that's thank you for sharing that story, but I also think it's such a beautiful metaphor for life, and kind of like, what have I been waiting for all this time? And oh, this is life, and this is a whole new world, and it opens my appetite and opens my eyes to like this clarity that I didn't know was there.
Yeah.
And so I find myself, and you were so sweet. Thank you for my bracelet. I have not taken it off since. I didn't put it on until I wrote my wish, which was the day I did the virtual wish circle.
Oh, perfect.
I did it after.
Oh, perfect.
Is it cheating if I put more than one wish?
No, but I'll tell you, in each box you get 5 little pieces of
Yes.
paper, and it didn't even occur to me. This is funny how about like you interpret things. It didn't even occur to me that people would try to jam like more than one piece of paper in there. I even include a little toothpick for easy rolling.
It's the cutest thing ever. Yes.
Because you need it, because I always like build things that I like actually needed. And anyway, the idea, you can put more than one wish. My idea was like, look, there's like no limit to what you can wish for. And I know that they're going to, things are going to happen for you. So I figured you write one wish, it comes true, put that in a special spot, write another wish. If in fact, I know that people, when you do the visualization, and this actually goes a little bit to the law of attraction. So I want to touch on this for a minute. When you do a bigger visualization, whether you do it through the app or you do a virtual wish circle, or you just picture a moment on your own in your own meditative way, you write the details in present tense language as if it's already happened. There's power in writing the details down. You're really getting that specificity. Mm-hmm. And then once you have it all written down, then you take the essence of that idea. Almost picture it like if your vision had a movie title and you put the essence of that idea on a little piece of paper. That's what you roll up and you put inside your Wishbeads bracelet. If you are writing your details down and you're connected to it, you're giving yourself a visual reminder, that's where your energy and alignment. So you're going to notice when someone comes into your life that's in alignment with your dream. I do actually go live 6 days a week at 8:30 in the morning Pacific time to talk about the wish work and whatnot. That's actually where I share quite candidly about my own journey, making my own decisions and wishes and what's happening in the world and my reflections. So it's a great place to tune in and get a little more insight there. But the wish work is there for you when you're ready for it. None of this should feel heavy. It should feel fun. And if reading, and if you know that about yourself, that let's say picking up the book for whatever reason feels heavy, that's why I created an app. The app is so silly and simple, silly. It's meant to be fun.
Can you do them both? I was going to ask you if you could do them both at the same time.
Oh, yeah. And in fact, I put on in each jewelry box, which I didn't bring with me, but in in each box, it says to activate your wish, go to wishbeads.com/yes. That's also where you can get the visualization, and the 21 days are going to go right to your inbox. I'm a teacher. Like that's actually what I want to do. I'm a very accidental jewelry designer. In the beginning, even prototyping and figuring it out, I literally started from zero knowledge. And I think that also is important to share because some people be like, well, I have this crazy idea to fill in the blank and I have no idea how to do it. Now, one thing I will say about the book is that it does function as a journal. Yes. So even if you're doing the wish work, just listening to it, there's power in writing it down in your own pen. There is energy there. You're capturing the fact and acknowledging the work that you're doing. And there is energy in that, especially if you associate this like a journal to your own specific wish. So maybe you listen to it, but then write down your experience as it relates to that one specific wish. And then you're actually going to track your progress, which then shows you how powerful you are to actually make your wishes come true.
So shift is a big word in my world for obvious many reasons. And I think that shift for me came about different personal shifts that I was making and wanting to provide people with, whether it's practitioners, tools, different things that can help them and their shift and their life. So you and Justin were discussing something that resonated so much with me when something like getting ourselves out of our habits creates the shift. And I absolutely loved that. And I wanted to know if we could talk about that for a hot second.
Hot seconds, very quickly. There's some anecdotal evidence, and I think it really is actually just anecdotal, that if you do something for 21 days, you develop a new habit. That is actually why the wish work is 21 days. That is why, when you do something just a little and a little and a little, suddenly you are in you just have a new experience. So when you commit to something, you're actually developing new neural pathways. I think that that's open to anybody, but you just have to make a little commitment. So you try it just for a little bit and see for yourself. Even if you make the commitment to say, I'm going to do it for 5 days and see how I feel. If you experience the shift, then you'll stay motivated to continue. And then you have the courage and enthusiasm to be like, ooh, I could do this. Maybe I could shift that.
We are obviously in a challenging time right now. So what are a couple of pointers or things that you feel that we all need that might make this a bit, we could navigate through this time with a bit more ease?
The first thing that pops to mind is this idea of being your best cheerleader and loving yourself. And the one thing that I would invite people to do is to, when you're in the restroom, let's say you're washing your hands, because everyone's doing that a lot, to look up, to see your beautiful face in the mirror and just say to yourself, you're doing great. I love you. You're doing wonderfully. And just give yourself that self-love. We are here in this time, in this really precious time, to feel the divine dissatisfaction and ask ourselves, what are we ready to create next? Where is this shift going to bring us? That's what I'm really focused on right now. Our next wish circle is actually going to be on Saturday, August 29th. Just today, I launched a podcast episode with Erica Rhodes. She is my children's former, well, she's a teacher, but she's also running for Congress. So we're talking about her on the podcast, and then she's going to be my special guest, wish leader on August 29th. So we'll get you signed up as a wish leader, a special guest too.
I can't wait. Alexa, I adore you. Have the best. Thank you, thank you, thank you.